miraculously, the neuropsychiatrist that I found off that list knew what was wrong with me. And because when I said why I was there, I said, well, I'm here because I can't stop crying. And I can't do my job, and I feel like I'm losing my mind, and I have no idea why. And he said, well, let's go back a little bit further, and I had indicated that I'd been in this automobile accident, and that I had had a head injury, but I didn't know what kind of head injury. I said, I think it was like a concussion or a contusion, or I don't really know, but I know there was bleeding, and I have hemophilia. And he said, okay, well, did they drain the blood? And I said, well, no, I have hemophilia. And then he said he wanted to do some tests to see kind of more information, but that I had a brain injury and that I had post-concussion syndrome. And I actually was relieved because I knew I hadn't gone crazy. But up until that moment, for those months, I thought I had lost my mind.
Did he take you off of work?
He had suggested that day, and I said, well, I can't do that. I have a job, and I need to do my job, and I'm a single girl, and I can't afford to not have a job. And he said, okay, well, I think you should go back to work and talk to your talk to your family about the possibility that you may need to take some time from your job. And by that time, I did go back to work for 2 weeks and followed up with him 2 weeks later. And in that 2 weeks, that my work had started out with a couple loans, but it was just compounding. And so a couple loans I could handle, but as it got 6, 8, 10, 12, 20, I had no idea. And so in that 2 weeks, I realized what he was saying. And I realized that I had 30 loans on my desk that all were supposed to close, and none of which I knew what was going on. I was working extra hours on the weekends and stuff to go in and like make notes on my files so that I would know what was done on individual loans when there was nobody calling me and nobody in the background making noises, so that at least I was getting some productive work done. But it had to be completely me in the office, no noise at all, so that I could write explicit notes to myself.